So the importance here between the two is clear. If you deploy more of these and you utilize them in a more kind of effective manner, you're going to be able to detect more types of issues that come up over the course of time.
Those are both the physical machines or just the network?
So it could be a couple of different things. It could either be software that's deployed at a server for the network or on an agent, which means a piece of software is running in the background. So it's protecting all the processes, or if it sees changes to like maybe registry files on the Windows side, or if there's changes to key files on the Linux side, it can tell you that those issues have occurred, or those changes have been attempted. Okay, next type of tool that you should be familiar with is Unified Threat Management. What this attempts to do is to take all of the different capabilities and put it into one appliance or one piece of software. So some of these are very effective in being able to kind of combine functions. And one of the things that you will wind up seeing is each one of the types of capabilities that's listed here, like firewalls and all of the IDS, as well as the VPN access, all of these different types of capabilities are kind of combined into one functioning tool. Okay, this obviously makes it a little bit more expensive because you're now combining a lot of these. Some organizations find this to be a much more effective method of deploying their defense in depth. And has Ben talked about the defense in depth? Talked about the onion. It's very important to recognize that there's as many security features that you can apply at each layer. It makes it even more beneficial because it's not whether an attack is going to occur, it's when it occurs, and what methods have you put in place in order to quickly resolve those issues as they come up.
We had to do the vault scenario.
Okay. That kind of helps you to, identify those issues. Okay, the next one that we'll talk about in terms of being able to do detection from an analyst standpoint is protocol analyzers. So we just showed an example of the Wireshark's online resource, the CloudShark, to be able to do different types of PCAP files to do analytics on those. And so these protocol analyzers can be a physical, a physical appliance where you're collecting data through the interface, or it could be software where you're putting it right on your machine and then accepting the traffic as it's being generated. Okay, a couple of synonyms for those. So packet sniffer or sniffer is probably something that you've heard before. They utilize both terms on the exam, so just be familiar with those. And then in order to effectively use a protocol analyzer, one of the things you need to become familiar with is this concept of a port mirror, or what we also call a span port, either on your switch within your your enclave, or some configuration that allows you to collect that data. All right. You may also be familiar with the two modes of operation for each interface. One is called non-promiscuous mode, which means that it allows you to assign an IP address to it, whereas the promiscuous mode essentially just lets traffic flow through the interface. And that's the mode that is required in order to be able to use a protocol analyzer such as Wireshark or TCP dump on the Linux side. Sure. Yeah, you can put actually any level of interface, a wireless interface.
But if it's not a hub, it doesn't work.
So a hub is actually a piece of hardware that actually transmits everything that comes in on a single port. So what some organizations do is, in order to see all of the traffic, they'll take an old hub, plug it into a couple of ports on their switch in order to see, other things, or to put more devices on it. But, well, you guys have already talked about kind of the drawbacks of using a hub and, your broadcast domain and so forth. Okay, so that's protocol analyzers.